to practice basketball when you're tired. I'm Tony. Welcome back to Streetball Strategies.
Standing up in the fire while they get low. Toe to toe, blow for blow, how my fight go. Ain't no giving up, that's a no-go. No excuses here, just a let's go.
So I already have a video about how to play basketball, how to compete when you're tired, but this video is about how to practice when you're tired. Because whether you play organized basketball, so AAU or high school basketball, or you're just a super dedicated street ball player like myself, you're either trying to be the very best version of yourself, the best basketball player you can possibly be, if not trying to just flat out be better than everyone else around you. And one of the universally known ways to do that is to flat out outwork everybody, work harder, work better than everybody else. So obviously part of doing that is practicing, getting your practice in, practicing when nobody else is out here, practicing when everybody else is resting, basically putting in work when everybody else is not or would not. So casual players, when casual basketball players are tired, they just don't play or practice. They don't do that. They don't care. It's not in them to do it. But because you are a dedicated basketball player trying to play the best basketball you possibly can, when you're tired, you still come out to the court and practice and put your work in because you're trying to outwork everybody else. Which begs the question of, when you're tired, when you're already fatigued, how do you still put in good quality practice to get the most out of your game? There are two major factors I want to focus on when it comes to getting good quality practice when you're tired. The first of being that you need to slow yourself down, slowing yourself down. I think it's a universal kind of human nature tendency that when you're already tired and fatigued, that when you're committed to coming out here, putting in your work, getting whatever repetitions in of whatever it is you're practicing for that day, I think it's human nature to compensate for that tiredness and that fatigue by speeding yourself up, trying to get in more repetitions in than you normally would because you're tired. So you're overcompensating with more repetitions to compensate for the fact that you're already fatigued. The problem with that is that when you're putting in more repetitions than usual, combined with the fact that you're already fatigued, that is a recipe for low quality repetitions. And I really do believe in the idea that every time you touch a basketball, every time your feet touch the court, you are always, every single time, you're teaching yourself something. You are reprogramming your brain to work in a certain way. The question is that reprogramming, is it a positive thing or is it a negative thing? Are you teaching yourself something good or something bad? And when you're putting up low quality repetitions of whatever it is you may be practicing that day, say you're shooting, your goal for that day, your practice training for that day is shooting a certain shot, right? If you come out here and you're tired, you're fatigued, your natural tendency is going to be, okay, I'm gonna put up more shots faster than usual to compensate for the fact that I'm tired. Those shots are probably going to be low quality shots, way lower quality than you would normally shoot. When you're doing that, putting up those low quality shots, you are subtly reprogramming your brain to shoot like that in actual games, in actual competitions, when it actually counts. It may not seem that way, it may not feel that way, but trust me, that is exactly what you're doing. So instead of rushing yourself, trying to get up more shots, more quantity, more reps than usual because you're tired, do the opposite. Slow yourself down. Relax. Calm yourself. Try to center yourself. Try to allow yourself to be in the present moment, here and now. Because when you're tired, right, it's hard enough to get through the current repetition of whatever it is you're trying to do, let alone thinking about doing the next repetition and the next one and getting through the entire practice time for the day. So instead of focusing on that big picture, trying to get to the next rep and the next rep and the next rep. Instead of that, slow down. Focus on that one rep. When you're tired, it's all about quality, not quantity. It's so much better to get in a little bit of good quality work in on that practice day when you're tired than to get in a larger, amount of bad repetitions when you're already fatigued, because you're programming your body and your mind to perform as if you're already fatigued, as if you're already tired. You're telling your mind, you're programming it to play that way in competition when you put up those low quality shots. So slow yourself down, pay attention to everything you're doing within whatever movement you're practicing. Be very meticulous, pay attention to everything, how your body's performing that repetition. It's so much better to get up like 50 good quality shots for the day than to get up like 300 meh average low quality shots for the day. That's why I say, like, I don't usually endorse shooting around, because when you come out here and you shoot around, you're not really making use of your time. You're just getting shots up for the sake of shooting. When you're doing that, you're not really teaching yourself anything. You're not reprogramming yourself in any kind of positive way. You're just kind of going through the motions. So instead of getting up a whole lot of low quality shots, slow yourself down, get in a few good high quality shots, good quality reps instead. When you're tired, it's all about quality, not quantity. The other major idea I want to focus on of how to practice effectively when you're tired is that you need to have fun. Now, I know that's an obvious idea to be bringing up. You obviously want to have fun. You're obviously out here on the basketball court because it's fun. But remember, we are the hardcore, right? We are the people out here really dedicated to this, really focused on putting good quality work in. And a lot of times that means that you've evaluated your game, you know your strengths and your weaknesses, and you want to eliminate or minimize as many of your weaknesses as possible. And so when you're out here, you should be usually working on your weaknesses. When you're working on your weaknesses, that can be very frustrating in itself. But when you combine working on your weaknesses with already being tired, already being fatigued, now you have a recipe for frustration, to the point that when the next time comes and you're supposed to come out here and practice and you're already tired, the recipe is there for you to go, well, you know what? Last time when I went to the court and I was tired and I tried to practice when I was already fatigued, it was just a pain. It was so frustrating to try to get good quality work in when I was tired. So that happened last time. So this time, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just gonna skip today instead of putting myself through that frustration again. So I say, when you come up to the court, you're already tired, you're already fatigued, but you're scheduled to be out here. You know it's your practice day, but you're tired, you're fatigued, you know it's going to be difficult. So instead of, trying to grind yourself, working on the things that you're terrible at and really, messing with the possibility that you're gonna frustrate yourself to the point that you're not gonna wanna be out here anymore, instead, work on the stuff that is fun to you, that you like. And usually that means you're gonna be working on something that you're already strong at, you're already good at it. It's already a strength of yours. And that's fine, because usually the idea, in theory at least, should be most of the time when you're out here practicing, hopefully you're fresh, right? Or at least you're not tired, you're not fatigued. Sometimes you will be. Hopefully when you are, that's the exception. Like 15% of the time when you come out here to practice, that's when you're super tired and super fatigued. But that small sliver of time when you're actually tired, actually fatigued, come out here, have fun, do the stuff that you like, work on your strengths. Because again, going back to reprogramming your brain, that way, from then on, when you think about practicing, putting in work when you're tired, you associate that with having fun, enjoying your time on the court. Because if you skip today coming out to the court and practicing because you know it's going to be frustrating, even more frustrating than usual, if you skip that day, then obviously you're not outworking the people around you if you're resting like they are. So instead, come out to the court, be tired, be fatigued. It's okay. Work on the stuff that you like doing instead of skipping out on the day altogether. That is how to practice basketball when you're tired. Slow yourself down and have fun doing it. Ideally, there should never be a day where you think to yourself, I don't want to go on the basketball court today because it's too hard, or it's too frustrating, or I'm too tired. Like, ideally, you should always look forward to coming out here regardless of the circumstances. So when you think about being tired, being fatigued, and still having to practice and train that day regardless, start trying to associate that day, you know, those few days, because they're not supposed to be the regular, they're supposed to be the exception. When you think about practicing and training when you're tired, try to start associating that with slowing down, low quantity, high quality for that day. At the same time, enjoying what you're doing, enjoying those few reps that you're getting up for that day. The more you do that, the more you get used to doing that, the more you train yourself and train your brain to think and perform that way, the better you'll be able to perform and practice out here when you're tired and fatigued. And it will just become part of your routine, part of your process, part of what you do as a basketball lifestyle. It won't be something that you dread doing. It'll just be the sort of idea of like, okay, yes, I'm tired, I'm fatigued today. That's fine, I can still go practice because it's not that big of a deal. It's not frustrating. It's not going to make me feel like I don't want to be on the court. I still want to be on the court even though I'm tired and I'm fatigued, because I know how to do it properly to get the best out of my game. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, if you like this kind of content, if you like this kind of basketball, you know, thinking, like, right? Because like most of the basketball channels on YouTube are like how to do this drill and this workout so you can be like this NBA player. If you like this kind of content, these kind of ideas as well, then thank you. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. This is a small, obscure basketball advice channel. We don't do drills. We don't do workouts. We're not trying to mold you to be like any other basketball player. We're trying to get you to look inside yourself and bring the best out of you as a basketball player. And in doing so, we talk about weird, obscure stuff that other channels don't. So if you like that, if you want to support that, the best way to do it is to subscribe to the channel. And for those of you that already have, you guys already know, I got your back and I appreciate you for having mine. As always, like, share, comment, hit that notification bell so you're notified of whenever any of my videos go live. And until my next video, I'll probably see you guys next week.
The lost one searching through the mazes, in a cage when it's dark, it's the bravest. So when the beasts come out, you can't tame it.